start with the pickled vegetables that will be one of the star ingredients. Here I have some radishes, some cucumbers, some carrot, and some fresh cilantro. I'm gonna mix all that up with a pickling solution in a nice wide mouth jar. And now that we have all of our vegetables washed and trimmed, we need to make our brine. So it's really simple. The key to any really good dish is just simple ingredients. So we're gonna have a little bit of white distilled vinegar, and we're gonna use half a cup of that. So this is a 1/4 measuring cup. So we're gonna put 2 of those right down in there. Now let's actually let's just go ahead and make it a cup because we got a lot of vegetables here. We're gonna do a cup of white, and then we're gonna do a cup of apple cider. One thing that my grandmother always made was what we called refrigerator pickles. So it's the same sort of concept. And we're gonna do vinegar, and then we're gonna put in some salt. I like to use this fancy Himalayan pink sea salt that I got at Trader Joe's, but you can use just regular table salt, and then sugar. So you're gonna do vinegar, salt, and sugar. Now growing up, we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of the sugar. Like I said, growing up in West Virginia, we did not use just straight vinegar. We always had to add a little bit of water to that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add about, half a cup of water to this mixture. And we're gonna shake it up. So put on the lid and then just shake it. Anyway, we're gonna shake that up, and then we're just gonna cut up our vegetables, and we're gonna put it in that brine solution. So we're gonna do really thin on our onion. Then you're gonna cut up your radishes. Look how beautiful these are. I absolutely love the radish. I think it is an underutilized vegetable. Now you can see with this one, they're not consistent because I hand chop these. You can absolutely use a mandolin if you want, but I kind of like the rustic charm of having each one a little bit different thickness. And if you get to try these, you'll see that makes the marinade really kind of sink in differently to each one. So you're gonna go ahead and put these in your marinade, in your brine as well, and just continue on with the next veg. Okay, so as you can see, I moved on to the carrot coins. Now, here's my little puppy. She's really interested in what I'm doing here. Now, what I love about cooking is that you can make it your own, right? Maybe when you do these vegetables, you don't have carrots, or maybe you don't have radishes, or maybe you don't want to add cucumber. It's literally whatever is in your refrigerator is what you can do with this. You are only limited when it comes to cooking by what you have and what you like. Now you notice how I put little stripes on this cucumber? That's for a couple reasons. First of all, look how pretty it makes it when it's cut, right? But secondly, my husband really likes the skin and I don't like it as much. And so that way we kind of compromise. We have a little bit of the cucumber skin and a little bit the way I like it. Now, you notice how full this is getting. So I'm just gonna push these veg down. Now, of course, I am well aware of the fact that there is a huge portion of the world who does not like cilantro. They think it tastes like soap. That's just unfathomable to me. But if you don't like it, then just leave it out. No big whoop. Okay, so now I've added a little bit of chopped cilantro to the top here. As these vegetables begin to pickle, they're gonna release some of their own deliciousness into this brine. And close the jar. And then I'm going to turn it upside down, and you can see that liquid sort of go down to the bottom. And I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator like this. And then since I'm home and I have nothing better to do, every 30 minutes or so, I'm just going to turn it it back right side up again. And then 30 minutes later, I will do that. Now, again, eventually these will begin to break down and it will all be covered in this delicious brine. I cannot wait. The smell of this freshness is making me really anticipate those delicious pork tacos. Okay, friends, so let's do it. We have our pork for our pork tacos. We just cooked a pork butt roast in the Instapot for about an hour and 45 minutes until it broke down really nicely. And then today, I just reheated it with some herbs and spices and a little of the pork stock. And now it is ready for a delicious taco. So let's put that together. Okay, if you're really fancy, as Jen Romano would say, you could make your own tortillas, but I have these delicious flour tortillas and these gluten-free tortillas in my pantry. And I just do them, warm them up in a dry pan until they're nice and toasty and warm and pliable. And then we're just gonna fill it with our delicious pork filling. Pretty the pickled vegetables came out, and so I'm going to put those on, and I'm going to put some fresh avocado and caramel or sour cream because I can't really eat tacos without that. Fresh cilantro, and man, I cannot wait to take a bite of this yummy taco. So what if you don't like pork tacos? I have some fresh Brussels sprouts and sweet potatoes, and we're gonna roast those off for a vegetable taco, a vegetarian or vegan option, depending on what you put into it. Now, just be careful with our fresh Brussels sprouts when they come apart like this. That's gonna cook really fast, so you wanna keep an eye on these when you're roasting them. To be honest with you, I kinda say that's the cook's portion of it. I love them because they turn into crunchy little Brussels sprout chips. So those really never make it to the tacos. So what you want to do is take these, make sure they're nice and dry. Once you clean them and chop them and dry them, you're going to add some olive oil to it and then some spices, onion powder, some smoked paprika, some cumin, and some garlic, and of course some salt and pepper. And we're just going to put that on our veg and then just toss them to get everything coated in that olive oil and spice mixture. I'm going to roast those at 400 degrees. Really keep an eye on these, especially at 400 degrees. So I'm probably going to check them in about 15 minutes, toss them around a little bit, and then another 15 to 20 minutes until the sweet potatoes are nice and soft. Okay, so now it has been about 30 minutes. So I'm going to take these vegetables out. You see these little crispy bits I was talking about? Yum. Now, what you want to do is you want to make sure that your potatoes are fork tender. Put your fork down in it. Oh, looks really good there. You may need to do another 5 minutes. So you're just going to keep kind of moving them around on your parchment paper and putting them back in for a few moments. Kind of like my Brussels sprouts to be a little bit more firm, but if you don't, you can always cook these separately, and then that way you have them to the perfect tenderness that you like. For these tacos, I decided to use some sun-dried tomato wraps, but I want to kind of handheld tacos, so I cut them with this biscuit cutter so that they're just really perfect size for a yummy taco. So now let's assemble these yummy little treats. Okay, so here we have our roasted veg. I've got some fresh avocado. I've peeled my lime so that, in an abundance of caution, I don't have the peel on there. And then I have some fresh cilantro. So we're just gonna take a little bit of each of these and build a yummy taco. I'm gonna do a vegan one and then I'm gonna do a vegetarian one. So for my vegan one, I'm going to take some of these delicious roasted vegetables. And since I've made them hand size, don't want to overwhelm them. I've got some wonderful creamy avocado. I've got some of my peeled lime here. Just gonna squeeze that right on top. little bit of fresh cilantro. Like I said, it fits just right in your hand and good. Now, before I take a bite of this, I'm gonna build my vegetarian. Oh wait, I forgot my delicious pickled vegetables. Oh my goodness, how could I forget that? Oh, look at that, makes it even prettier. Now this time, when I say vegetarian, I'm gonna add a little bit of cheese to this. Oh, and my pickled vegetables, can't forget that this time. Now you could use any kind of cheese you really want. Of course, Oaxacan cheese would be great, or some cheddar, but I'm gonna use what I have, which is some crumbled garlic and herb feta. Now I know that doesn't seem right, but trust me, it is delicious. And then I'm gonna use a little bit of this cream that I made. This is sour cream, a little bit of Greek yogurt, some roasted onions that I roasted off, and then some spices like cumin, and I always have some smoked paprika in pretty much everything I make. So there you have, oh my goodness, I cannot wait to take a bite of this. And you know, it's never pretty to watch someone do that. So I'm gonna sign off for now and say, enjoy your Taco Tuesday.